Okay, for question 2, let's start by labeling these equations once again. So we will have the first one as equation 1, and we will label our second equation as equation 2. So again, we want to add one equation to the other in order to cancel out some of the variables. In this case, though, if we just straight up added our equations together, you'll notice because none of the values of x or y are the same and then like inversed, you won't be able to cancel them out. So in this case, I have to do some manipulation of sorts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take equation 1, which is 4x minus 3y plus 11 equals to 0. And I'm going to start by moving 11 to the right-hand side because I want it to be on the right-hand side so it matches up with equation 2. So I'm going to subtract 11 from both sides. And once I do that, I should get 4x minus 3y equals to negative 11. But now from here, I'm still not done yet. I have to make sure I get negative 3y to become negative 6y because I want to add negative 6y to 6y so that I cancel out my y values. That way I only have x values left. Alternatively, I can do this with my x values. Like I can somehow find a way to get 4x to negative 5x and then cancel out that way. Or I have to change 5x to something else and 4x to something else to cancel them out. But it's easier to do it for y, so I'm just going to try to find a way to do it for y. In this case, if I want to turn negative 3y into negative 6y, I can just multiply every term by 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply every term by 2. And once I do that, I should be getting, okay, let's see, 4x times 2 should be 8x. Negative 3y times 2 should be negative 6y. And negative 11 times 2 should be negative 22. Okay, so that's my new equation 1 now. Now what I can do is I can add equation 1 to 2 to find the value of my x term. So I have 8x minus 6y equals to negative 22. And for my second equation, I have 5x plus 6y equals to negative 4. Now I put the addition sign here, and just like in elementary school, I add these terms together. So 8x plus 5x, that should give me 13x. Negative 6y plus 6y, that should get me 0. All right. And then negative 22 plus negative 4, that should get me negative 26. So I actually have 13x equals to negative 26 now. And now what I want to do is I want to solve for x by dividing 13, which is the coefficient, from every term that I can. So in this case, I'll divide every term by 13. And once I do that, well, 13 divided by 13 is 1. So I just have x on my left-hand side. And on my right-hand side, negative 26 divided by 13 is negative 2. So I have x equals to negative 2. Now that I found my x term, I can take my x term and plug it back into either equation 1 or equation 2 to solve for my y. In this case, I'm just going to plug it back into equation 2. So equation 2 is 5x plus 6y equals negative 4. So I'm going to plug in 5 times negative 2 instead of 5x plus 6y equals to negative 4. Okay, now once I do that, 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So I have negative 10 plus 6y equals to negative 4. Now what I want to do is I want to move my negative 10 to the other side, which is the right-hand side. So how do I get rid of negative 10? I would add 10. So I would add 10 from both sides. because negative 10 plus 10 is 0, so I'm left with 6y. And that equals to negative 4 plus 10. Negative 4 plus 10 is positive 6, so I have 6. Now what I want to do from here is get my y by itself by removing the coefficient of 6. So what I can do is I can divide every term by 6. And in this case, when I divide every term by 6, 6 divided by 6 is 1, so I only have y on my left-hand side, and on my right-hand side, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I have y equals to 1. So the intersection point, or solution to my system of equations for this question, is x equals to negative 2 and y equals to 1.